Hey guys, how you doing, and welcome to this new video on my channel. Today I'm going to compare Animal Crossing New Horizons with Animal Crossing New Leaf, and I will have a special look at the graphics of both games, because I recently started to play New Leaf again and I noticed huge differences. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to my channel to support me, and also you won't miss any upcoming videos to Animal Crossing New Horizons. So let's start with today's video. The idea for this video came up to my mind when I started to play Animal Crossing New Leaf a few days ago. It has been quite a long time since the last time I played this game, but my hype for Animal Crossing New Horizons reached a certain point where I had to play some Animal Crossing game. And when I started my new town, I instantly recognized the big graphic difference between New Leaf and New Horizons, and I thought that a comparison could be very interesting. Obviously I started in winter, so I will begin with this season too. Let's have a look at the trees first. What I really love about the graphics of Animal Crossing New Horizons is that everything looks extremely smooth. The snow on the trees doesn't look like a simple graphic layer which is positioned on the top of the leaves. In New Horizons, the snow seems to be a 3D model which is part of the object. I hope the snow leaves some visible traces on the ground when we shake the trees. This would look so cool. Another detail I really appreciate are the changes to the snow on the roofs. This looks way more realistic in New Horizons, I think again thanks to the new 3D models of the snow. I could imagine that the snow layer on roofs and other platforms grows with the number of days when it snows. Maybe we can see the snow melting when it starts to get spring. So now let's compare the snowy ground with each other. As we know for a long time now, the weeds in New Horizons will have different levels and change their look depending on how long you let them grow. This already makes a huge difference and applies to every single season, which means that we also have different looking weeds. Another very neat but extremely beautiful detail is the bottom of the weeds, which is also slightly covered in snow. In New Leaf the weeds are only in a more brown or greyish color, which makes it look more dreary than winter-like. But what really looks winter-like are the leaves from normal and fruit trees. All of them are covered in little snow layers and have mixed colors of white and light green. Also the snowflakes are so much more realistic than in New Leaf, because now they really look like a snowflake and not like a white point falling from the sky. Although we won't start the game in winter, and by the way I'm a person who doesn't time travel so I will have to wait 3 seasons, I'm already hyped for the look. I can't wait to hear the crunching steps in the snow when we leave our house for the first time in winter. This will surely be a great moment. Alright, let's move on to spring, the season we will start with, at least in the northern hemisphere. The first thing I instantly recognize when I compare the pictures are the colors. And holy moly, that's a huge difference. The colors from New Horizons are so much brighter and look so much more like spring. Additionally to that we can have a great look at the textures of both games, and in my opinion we can see here what the Switch is capable of compared to the Nintendo 3DS. There are so many details, and have a look at the shaders. They look so good in New Horizons and have the real shapes of the objects, which is a big improvement. The engine of New Horizons must be completely new designed by Nintendo, and that's in my opinion the right step. The older games of Animal Crossing, Wild World, City Folks and New Leaf felt like a continuation of the series, not like a completely new designed game. I think this will definitely change with Animal Crossing New Horizons. Finally! I already mentioned the textures before, and the best example for the difference are the treetops of the pink trees. The textures of New Leaf look kinda flat, and the leaves simply look like many single images of the same leaf were put together. As I already said about the winter trees, it looks again like they created real 3D models. That's also good for a realistic implementation of the wind, which will affect single leaves differently. What we can also see pretty good in these two pictures is the dirt, which has been often criticized in New Leaf and then, seemingly, has been removed in New Horizons. I am glad that Nintendo decided to not feature the dirt again in the game, because in my opinion it always looked, I don't know, maybe misplaced? It didn't feel comfortable to have these dirt parts in your town, and it's definitely one of the best decisions by Nintendo to give us the opportunity to decide by ourselves where we want to have a path to walk on. The ground looks so much more beautiful with a continuous green instead of having these brown interruptions. Okay, before we move on to summer, I just want to remind you of something. It might sound like I'm ranting on the graphics of New Leaf or that I don't like the game whatsoever. Of course I know that Animal Crossing New Leaf is a game which has been released on a handheld console 7 years ago. It's just insane to see what Nintendo did again regarding the detailed level of graphics in New Horizons, and I absolutely love the job Nintendo has done so far. Alright, so for the summer we have seen different weather conditions. Let's start with the sunny days. Because of the missing dirt on the ground, the images look so much more colorful than in New Leaf in my opinion. Another difference we can spot between these two pictures are the small tufts of grass at the bottom of the trees. That's again a neat detail I really love about New Horizons. Everywhere you look you will find a small texture of something. I also like that the grass just has at some spots the typical Animal Crossing triangles or squares, and not everywhere like in New Leaf. It looks so much cleaner in New Horizons and fits way better into the look of the game. A thing we can see pretty good in the direct comparison is the change of the color palette. In New Leaf the colors look much harder and have a greater contrast. In New Horizons instead the colors are way softer and smoother, also the shaders have more depth. Most of the differences were already visible in other seasons, so let's have a short look at the rainy summer days in Animal Crossing New Horizons. To begin I want to mention the small water drips that are visible on the surface of the river. It seems to be the case again that water now is a real 3D model and is capable of showing more and deeper details. The next thing I really like in New Horizons are the surfaces of objects, which get a different look when it's raining outside. They start to look wet, for example have a look at the head of the character, and I'm sure that there will be even more details for the surfaces when it comes to other weather conditions. Also the leaves and fruits get wet and it seems to be that the bucket fills after a certain time of rain outside. Alright, that's it for summer, let's move on to the last season, fall. And I can already tell, this will be by far my most favorite season of all. God, this looks brilliant! I literally can't wait until we finally have fall and I will be able to go outside in New Horizons and enjoy the colors, the weeds and the leaves covering the ground. When I first saw what Nintendo did on the graphics for fall, I didn't know what to say. I couldn't have imagined such a beautiful view when playing Animal Crossing. The details on the weeds are amazing, some of the weeds even look like grains. I'm wondering if we can maybe cultivate our own wheat field to make bread or something like this. Compared to New Leaf, the fall in New Horizons looks like a totally different game and it is in my opinion the biggest improvement of all seasons. In New Horizons, fall looks so much more colorful and also there are plenty of new details which have been added to the game. I already mentioned the different kind of plants on the ground which brings so much variety into the game. In New Leaf, if I remember correctly, we only had some mushrooms on the ground. I'm especially excited about the flying leaves when the wind starts to blow, I mentioned this many times already. In the background of the picture we can see a scarecrow which underlines the fall atmosphere perfectly. I'm wondering if the scarecrow is a normal item we can buy at Nook's store or if we can craft or build it from a different source. In general, I have the feeling the world won't be so generic as in previous Animal Crossing games, and I also hope that we will have a big amount of different generated islands and patterns. Okay, so after I began to play New Leaf again, I just wanted to play New Horizons finally, because the differences are so big. Well, from this day on, it's only 36 days until release. You can already pre-download the game from the eShop, but actually I don't know if that's a clever idea because then you will see every day the logo of New Horizons on your Switch start screen and you can't start the game. Okay, that's it for this video. Which season of Animal Crossing do you enjoy the most? Feel free to leave a comment below and also make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss any upcoming videos. Alright, have a nice day, I'm out.